Hello, this is Mrs. Connor, and I am reading from Classics for Young Readers. And today we're reading the story Brer Rabbit Gets Brer Fox's Dinner, retold by Julius Lester. Now it's important to understand that some of these words are not grammatically correct. This story was told in the Deep South, and so some of the vocabulary and grammar is not necessarily what we would consider proper in the English language. So, please, if you don't understand some of the words or some of the way that the story is read, discuss that with your learning coach to help you understand it better. This story is retold by Julius Lester. If you ain't never heard about Brer Rabbit and Brer Fox, you might get the idea from these stories that they are enemies. Well, that ain't the way it is. On the other hand, they weren't friends either. Brer Rabbit was Brer Rabbit, which meant he couldn't help it if he woke up some mornings and the first thing he thought about was creating devilment. And Brer Fox was Brer Fox. Wasn't his fault if he woke up thinking about the same thing. So they weren't enemies and they weren't friends. They were who they were. Another way of putting it is, they ain't who they wasn't. Now that that's all clear, let's go on with the story. Not having anything better or worse to do one day, Brer Rabbit decided to see what Brer Fox was up to. As he got close to Brer Fox's house, he heard a lot of hammering. When he got there, he saw Brer Fox on the roof nailing shingles as fast as he could. Well, Brer Rabbit treated work like he did his mama, and he wouldn't hit his mama a lick. So he looked around to see what else he could see, and there by the fence post was Brer Fox's dinner pail. Brer Rabbit knew that there was more food in it than there was in his stomach. That didn't seem right. How was he going to get Brer Fox's dinner from where it wasn't doing no good to where it would do a whole lot of good? "Brer Fox, how are you doing today?" Brer Rabbit called up. "Busy. Ain't got time to be flapping gums with you. What are you doing up there? Putting on a new roof before winter come? You need help?" "I do, but where am I going to get it at?" "I am a powerful man with a hammer, Brer Fox. I'll give you a hand." Brer Rabbit climbed up to the roof and set to work. Pretty soon he was out hammering Brer Fox. He was putting roofing on like winter was on the outskirts of town. He nailed and nailed and nailed until he was right up to Brer Fox's tail. Brer Rabbit pushed the tail to one side, but a tail being a tail, it just swished back. "Don't know how come some folks gotta have such long tails," Brer Rabbit mumbled to himself. He brushed his tail aside again and resumed nailing. He nailed under Brer Fox. He nailed around Brer Fox. He nailed beside Brer Fox. He nailed and he nailed until all of a sudden Brer Fox dropped his hammer and let out a yell. "Ow, Brer Rabbit, you done nailed my tail!" Brer Rabbit looked at him, eyes big. "I done what? You got to be joking, Brer Fox. Don't be accusing me of something I ain't done." Brer Fox hollered and squalled and kicked and squealed. "Have mercy, Brer Rabbit! Unnail my tail! Unnail my tail!" Brer Rabbit started down the ladder, shaking his head. "I must be losing my aim, my stroke, or something. Maybe my eyes is getting weak. I ain't never nailed nobody's tail before. Doing something like that upsets me. Doing something like that upsets me so much it makes me hungry." All the while Brer Fox is hollering and screaming and squalling. Brer Rabbit climbed down the ladder, still muttering to himself about how getting upset made him hungry. He opened up Brer Fox's dinner pail and helped himself to the fried chicken, corn, and biscuits inside. When he finished, he wiped his mouth on his coat tail, belched a time or two, and went on down the road, hoping he ain't done no permanent damage to Brer Fox's long, pretty tail.